Hey y'all, welcome back to A Moment with Miranda, where we take a few minutes to reflect, reset, and remind ourselves that we are enough. Today, we're going to talk about something that most people say that they value, but very few people actually practice. What do you think I'm talking about? Well, let me tell you, listening. I've been thinking a lot lately, like probably more than I should. Overthinking is a thing. About how easy it is to feel right. Like that you're not wrong. Like deep in your bones, right? Like you're in the middle of an argument. Argument. I can't even talk. You're in the middle of an argument. You're frustrated. You're hurt. You're angry. And everything in you is saying they just don't freaking get it. They're wrong. They hurt me. I'm hurt. They did this. They're the villain. And maybe, guess what? Maybe they did. But there's that part that we just don't like to sit with. There's always that other side of the coin. And I know, trust me, I know more than anyone how that sounds when you're in it. Because when you're in it, it doesn't feel like there's another side. It feels like there's the truth and nothing but the truth, and then there's the version of the events that the other person is trying to portray that could be different. But growth, like real growth, happens when we're willing to pause long enough and ask, what am I not seeing? Not because you're wrong, not because you have to agree with the person, but because understanding. And trust me, understanding doesn't mean that you're surrendering. And it doesn't mean you're losing yourself in that process. It means you're expanding yourself. There's a difference between listening to respond and listening to understand. And let me tell you, if we're being honest, most people are just waiting for their turn to talk. Listen, I've been guilty of that myself. We build our rebuttal while the other person is still speaking. We filter everything they say through our own hurt, our own story, and our own lens. We are a sum of our experiences, and then we wonder why nothing ever gets resolved. It's cyclical because we're not actually hearing each other. We're defending ourselves. But perspective. Perspective is where everything shifts. Because the moment you realize that someone else's reaction didn't just come out of nowhere, that it was built from their experiences, their fears, their wounds, where they're at on their journey, you start to soften a little bit. You don't excuse their behavior. You don't tolerate things that cross boundaries, but you understand. And understanding is a powerful thing. I used to think that I listened to the other side, it meant that I was giving up my ground or my edge or something along that. But really, there is no line. And I felt like I was somehow losing. But here's the truth. Listening doesn't make you smaller. It makes you wiser. Because now you're not just operating from your reality, you're aware of theirs too. And when you can hold both, that space, although it is hard, trust me, that's where growth lives. Now, let's be clear about something. Not every perspective deserves access to you. Not every conversation is a safe one, and not every person is ready to grow with you. But you still get to be the kind of person who chooses awareness over ego. You still get to be the person who says the thing where you can be hurt and still be open to hear. You can stand firm and still be willing to see more of that story. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being right. Most of the time, nobody is right or wrong. It's about becoming better, a better partner, a better person. Just better. So, the next time you feel yourself just like tightening up, getting defensive, wanting to fight, ready to prove your point, pause. Don't learn the lesson the hard way. Pause, please. And just ask yourself, what might I be missing here? Not to invalidate your feelings, because your feelings do matter, but expand your understanding, because growth doesn't come from winning arguments. It doesn't come from places where you don't get to be anymore. It comes from being willing to see beyond your own perspective. And that's a hard thing. Growth comes from knowing what you could have done better and you didn't. Growing comes from understanding when to give space and to not. Growth comes from having the strength to ask the other person to please listen and give your perspective, but still honoring how they feel. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. But just remember, perspectives are powerful, and two people can see something totally different. So keep growing, keep choosing to understand people, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's sad, even when it's hard. And remember, you were always enough, babe. Always.